Thanks for tuning into Hardstone Media, where we use our superpower of hindsight to rewrite movies and TV series.
Now for part 2 of Fall of the Jedi. Anakin returns to Palpatine's personal residence, looking for more evidence. As he continues searching, he finds a hidden door slightly ajar. He opens it and finds an entrance and a tunnel. He follows the tunnel and eventually finds a secret room full of Sith relics. In the middle of the room is an altar. He approaches it and looks down at the lightsaber that adorns it. Anakin picks up the saber and ignites it, exposing its red blade. As he does, Palpatine's voice booms from the shadows. Palpatine tells him that the Sith blade is red because it uses the blood of its owner, showing their dedication to the dark side of the Force. Anakin spins around with surprise as Palpatine emerges from the shadows. He tells Anakin that the Jedi only use part of the Force and that they're religious fanatics who control their pupils and the whole galaxy, just like slave masters. Anakin denies this and tells him they use the light side of the Force to help the galaxy. Palpatine goes into more details about the Force and the power that the dark side brings. He explains that the galaxy was full of slavery with Jedi in control, but now slavery is all but gone because of him, with Anakin's help. He tells Anakin that the two of them can continue to bring order to the galaxy. Anakin refuses, telling Palpatine that it is he that created the clones. He began the war. Palpatine explains that he only used clones to defeat clones, that without those clones, the war would have been lost and the galaxy in ruins. Palpatine reminds Anakin of the stories they've shared, how Palpatine was much like Anakin, alone with nothing, but he managed to crawl out of the gutter, create his own wealth, and now he controls the entire galaxy. He tells Anakin that it was a Sith Lord who brought him out of the gutter, helped him become the man he is, and now he wants Anakin to follow in his footsteps, to be his apprentice. As to him, Anakin is like a son. He shows Anakin a map of the galaxy and highlights the stars under the control of the Galactic Republic. Then he highlights another set of stars, which are the new planets that will be brought under the control of the Empire. Only the Empire can bring civilization to these planets, rid them of slavery, Palpatine tells him. Anakin no longer dismisses him outright, quietly pondering his words. But eventually, again, he declines and tells Palpatine that he must be tried by the Jedi Council for his crimes. Palpatine tells Anakin that he should do what he thinks is right, but he should remember that the Jedi will never let him be with his wife. Anakin is stunned. How could Palpatine know this? Palpatine reminds him that the dark side can unlock powers the Jedi are too afraid to use. And if he joins with Palpatine, he can learn the power of the dark side and live together in happiness with Padme. Palpatine allows Anakin to leave the room and doesn't try and stop him, though Anakin hesitates as he reaches the door, looking back at Palpatine, considering his words. Palpatine, however, does not turn and face him. He simply continues grinning to himself. Anakin returns to Obi-Wan, telling him what Palpatine admitted. Obi-Wan is disturbed by this and weighs up their options. Why would Palpatine admit this freely? Why now? After much deliberation, they decide to tell the Jedi Council. The two Jedi stand before the Council and show them the red lightsaber along with other Sith artifacts Anakin took, and inform them of Palpatine's admission and plans. The Jedi Council sense the imminent danger they are in and decide they need to act swiftly and arrest Palpatine. Anakin wants to join in the arrest, but they tell him he's too close to Palpatine, too conflicted. Anakin's frustrations grow. He pleads with them that he should be there. He did all the work, that he's strong enough. The Council, however, disagree and tell him that he's not in line with the light side of the Force. Obi-Wan orders Anakin to respect the will of the Council and that he should accompany Obi-Wan to protect and escort the senators to the Senate meeting. Anakin refuses and storms off. The Jedi, led by Mace Windu, head to Palpatine's office and confront him. They order Palpatine to give up as he is under arrest, but he refuses. Meanwhile, Anakin is sulking about the Jedi's decision when he suddenly stops as a feeling of dread falls over him. He immediately rushes off towards Palpatine's office. In Palpatine's office, the Jedi ignite their lightsabers and approach Palpatine, who fires his blaster at them, which they defend easily. As the Jedi approach Palpatine, the Praetorian Guard emerge from their hiding places, attacking the Jedi. The Praetorian Guard fight well with weapons that resist lightsabers. During the commotion, Anakin enters the office and looks on in horror as his Praetorian Guard are now being killed by the Jedi. He yells for them to stop, that this isn't right, that Palpatine needs to stand trial, but Windu tells him he's too dangerous to stand trial, that the Senate and the courts will prevent this, that he owns the courts. The Jedi overcome the Praetorian Guard. As they do, Palpatine runs for the exit, but Mace Windu cuts him down, killing him. Anakin yells at Windu with anger, "What have you done?" Mace Windu explains that it was the only way to stop the Sith from taking over the Republic. Then from the shadows, a sinister laugh bellows out, as the Emperor, the real Emperor, emerges. The Jedi are shocked. "It's a clone," Windu exclaims in horror. "Yes, and now your failure is complete," Palpatine laughs. Following him in the shadows emerges Sharad Het and a battalion of Praetorian Guard. They descend on the Jedi, who fight well, but are overwhelmed by the number of guards, and Sharad brandishing his new red lightsaber. Once they have defeated the Jedi, Sharad asks the Emperor if he can now take his revenge on Anakin, but the Emperor denies him, and tells him that Anakin is powerful with the dark side of the Force, perhaps even more so than Sharad. Sharad is incensed by this. Palpatine laughs. "Good, let the hate flow through you. It makes you stronger." Anakin tells Palpatine that the Jedi won't let this happen. Palpatine laughs and offers him a better way to learn the Force, that under his tutelage, Anakin will become the most powerful Jedi of all, and that his marriage to Padme will be safe and protected, but only if he continues to be the Emperor's bodyguard. He continues that they won't need to hide away from the Jedi in the shadows anymore, as the Sith encourage connection, marriage, and love. Anakin is still conflicted, especially his loyalty to Obi-Wan. Anakin asks, if he does join, will Obi-Wan be spared? The Emperor hesitates, then agrees, but only if he joins the dark side. Only then can he live. Anakin looks around for options, considering making a run for it. Palpatine, sensing his thoughts, continues his case. He explains that he knows about Padme, Obi-Wan, and Anakin's plot to expose him, that if they don't join with him, they will be enemies of the Empire and hunted down along with the Jedi. Anakin replies that Palpatine will be exposed all too soon. Palpatine laughs. Palpatine replies that he hopes so. This was all part of his plan, and that once the senators rise against him, he'll know who he needs to take out. Doubt grows within Anakin about their plan, but he still resists the Emperor. The Emperor continues that the Jedi will never accept him if they knew the truth about what he did to the slave masters. Anakin is stunned and lowers his head. He replies, "But they were evil. I had no choice." The Emperor laughs. "No choice? You had a choice, and you made the right one. You destroyed those that are evil, that made you a slave. Now the Jedi make you a slave. Join with me, and you can, for the first time, be free." Sharad's anger boils over. He can't believe that the Emperor also favors Anakin. He attacks Anakin, but Anakin defends himself, and they battle in a heated duel. The Emperor laughs with glee, then orders them to stop. He asks for Anakin's decision, telling him that the Jedi are now finished. Anakin bows his head and finally agrees to follow. Padme and Senator Organa walk through the halls of the Senate building, Padme holding the data card closely as they are escorted by Obi-Wan. As they walk, Obi-Wan slows as a feeling of unease descends on him. They ask him what's wrong. He explains that he felt a disturbance in the Force, that something terrible has happened, but he can't tell what. He tells the two senators to continue on to the Senate. As they approach the Senate chamber, they greet the Mon Calamari and Bothan senators, who are arguing with each other. They ask what's happening, and the senators explain that there is a lot more stormtroopers in the Senate building than normal. They've taken over security from the normal Capitol security and are harassing alien senators. Organa tells them that soon this will all be over. Obi-Wan decides to stay with the senators outside the chamber to gather his thoughts and feelings surrounding this disturbance and help calm the senators' fears. As Padme and Organa enter the chamber, they see the Emperor's platform where a cloaked figure sits in the Emperor's seat. The Emperor begins proceedings by announcing, to the shock of the Senate, that the Jedi have attempted to overthrow the Republic. Whilst announcing this, he shows vision of the Jedi's attack and Palpatine's death. He explains that they killed a body double, but the real Palpatine, the Emperor, was able to escape. He details that the Jedi have joined forces with alien insurgents and have been coordinating attacks against the Senate, the Emperor, and humans throughout the galaxy. Thus, he is now banning all aliens from the Senate. Their systems will now be administered by human senators from neighbouring systems. And that the Jedi and their religious extremist warriors are now enemies of the Empire and are to be arrested with all mentions of their religion removed from the galaxy. Padme is shocked and tries to speak up, raising the data card as she does. But Organa stops her and tells her that their evidence is useless now, that the Emperor has taken control of the Senate and they'll just end up in jail or worse. He orders her to follow them out of the Senate chamber. As they leave, stormtroopers flood in, marching out alien senators. As Padme and Organa enter the hallway, they see Obi-Wan and the Mon Calamari and Bothan senators. Organa asks if they saw what just happened. Obi-Wan tells them they have not, but he feels something is wrong in the Force, something very bad is happening. Organa explains what just happened. Obi-Wan orders Organa to take the Mon Calamari and Bothan senators away from Coruscant and to safety. The senators refuse, but then down the hallway they see an alien senator being dragged out by stormtroopers and agree to follow Organa. Obi-Wan tells Padme that he needs to return to the Jedi Council. Padme tells him that it's not safe and begs him to find Anakin and get off this planet safely. Obi-Wan feels her intense concern. He asks why is she so desperate for him to help Anakin. She knows that her feelings have betrayed her, and she admits that she and Anakin married in secret. Obi-Wan is shocked. He mentions that he could sense their feelings, but never thought Anakin would betray their Jedi code like this. She then reveals that's not all, that she's pregnant. Obi-Wan closes his eyes and reaches out with the Force. He can sense the life growing within her. Obi-Wan tells Padme he'll get Anakin and bring him to her. She asks him not to reveal the pregnancy that she wants to tell him, and he agrees. Organa and Padme leave, smuggling the senators out of the capital, evading stormtroopers, Imperial officers, and a tense search of their ship as they leave the capital. Obi-Wan reaches out with his feelings and finds Anakin, but he's in the Imperial Palace, and his feelings are full of confusion. Obi-Wan sneaks into the building where stormtroopers and Praetorian guards walk the hallways. He finds Anakin in the Emperor's quarters and reaches out to him through the Force. Anakin hears Obi-Wan's call and leaves to meet him. Obi-Wan tells Anakin that the Empire are taking over, that his cover is blown and he'll be arrested as a Jedi, that they need to leave. Anakin is conflicted and explains that he's trapped, that he needs to serve the Emperor if he and Padme are to be together and if they want to survive. He asks Obi-Wan to join them, that he can be spared if he joins with the Empire. He tells Anakin that the Emperor is looking to rule the galaxy, to oppress its people, to rule like a slave owner. Anakin becomes angry with that comment. We got rid of slavery, defeated the clones, we freed the galaxy, created peace from war, brought order to chaos. Obi-Wan is stunned. The Empire created the war, used clones to defeat clones, allowed billions to die to take power. How can you say these things? Anakin shakes his head. Those are the lies of a Jedi and an alien sympathizer. Anakin feels Obi-Wan's disappointment and lowers his head with shame. It's the only way to keep her safe, to keep us all safe. The Emperor knows what we did on Kamino. Anakin again asks him to join, that it's the only way he can be safe. But Obi-Wan refuses, that he will never join the Sith and the dark side of the Force. Anakin puts his hand up, ushering him to leave. Now go before they find you. Obi-Wan puts his hand on Anakin's shoulder and tells him, you always have a choice. It's never too late. Anakin hugs him and says, goodbye my friend, thank you for everything. Obi-Wan returns a sad smile. No, thank you my friend. Then Obi-Wan sneaks out undetected. Down below, on the streets of Coruscant, stormtroopers, supported by walkers and an array of cannons, descend on the Jedi Temple. Stormtroopers march up the steps, where Jedi stand and defend the temple, battling them as they approach. Row after row of stormtroopers attack but are defeated by the Jedi. Then suddenly, the stormtroopers stop their attack. The Jedi within the palace have been organising ships to escape when one Jedi Master asks aloud, "Why have they stopped their attack?" Another Master calms her mind and stretches out her feelings through the Force and announces her realization that they're not trying to get in, they're stopping the Jedi from getting out. Their feeling spreads throughout the Jedi. Even the knights defending the temple feel it. They look up above as an Imperial battle cruiser hovers overhead with its cannons pointed down. Some Jedi try to flee in panic, but many just shut their eyes and calmly accept their fate and know that they'll soon be one with the Force. Then the cannon fires down and destroys the temple. As Obi-Wan travels on a speeder through the city's skyline, he suddenly feels a deep sadness in the pit of his stomach. He pulls over onto the roof of a building and looks back as the Jedi temple explodes in plumes of ash under the bombardment of the battlecruiser. He instantly knows that many of the voices he once knew have gone silent, not to be heard again in the flesh. Only now will they be heard through the Force. Obi-Wan stares in shock as tears fall from his face. He shakes his head slowly with disbelief. His trance is broken by the buzzing of his communicator. A fellow Jedi, Barriss Offee, is on the other line and tells Obi-Wan what the Emperor has done. Obi-Wan replies that he can see it. She tells him that the remaining Jedi are meeting on the mining colony of Mustafar. There they will work out what to do next. Obi-Wan agrees to join and is glad that she's okay. Obi-Wan uses his fake ID and boards a ship as Ben Kenobi, also using the Force when questioned or searched by stormtroopers, eventually making his way to Mustafar. Later on, Barriss Offee is hiding underneath a hood in an alleyway on Coruscant as another hooded Jedi approaches. She is pleased to see him and tells him that they need to get off Coruscant. The second Jedi agrees, but asks where to. Barriss tells him that there is a meeting on Mustafar with all the remaining Jedi. He thanks her, then suddenly stormtroopers flood the alleyway. The two Jedi pull their lightsabers out to defend themselves, but as they do, Barriss is impaled by the other Jedi's lightsaber. As she falls, she turns and sees Anakin Skywalker's face, just before she dies. Skywalker reports to the Emperor that the Jedi are going to Mustafar. The Emperor is pleased and orders Sharad and Anakin to lead his forces against the remaining Jedi. Anakin looks down at the slain Jedi. He bends down and places his hand on her face, closing her eyes, and apologizes, telling her that it was the only way. Thanks for watching part 2 of Fall of the Jedi. Next will be our final video for Fall of the Jedi and for our entire Star Wars prequel rewrite series.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.